Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the finale to Season 3 here for the AOR Rally League. It is round 6 here at Wales. As you can see, the opening round is in the pouring wet, despite the fact it's on light gravel tarmac. It does provide some very interesting moments, as you can see in that snippet there. So, without further ado, let us head straight to Stage 1, the River Severn Valley. Long stage, 7 checks in the middle. As you can see my Swift's preview there on the left-hand side, it is precariously narrow, with the trees lining the circuit for a fair proportion of the circuit. But other dangers such as the log piles there, and crazy civilians, of course, behind a very thin fence. So, here we have Race Fanatic then, and away they go. Because it is a tarmac surface, it takes off at lightning speed. But look how narrow it is. It is one mistake, and that will cost very, very dearly. It's very, very bumpy. All these factors, including the rain, make for very, very treacherous conditions, but it just doesn't look like a Race Fanatic. Absolutely herring through the Welsh countryside, even going tripod there with one wheel completely off the road, over the gap in the left-hand side of the bank. There, just doing it there again, just cutting that corner a little bit. He got a bit unsettled, had to get out of it, and wisely waited for the car to settle. Here we have the Canadian of epileptic toes, just coming over the second time check. There, just using the curvature of the ground to bounce the car back over to the left, and now following one of the few slower parts there are to this particular stage. But again, it's so precariously narrow. You hit the bank on the left too hard, it will catapult you into the line of trees on the right hand side. So bravery, and I'm sure a lot of practice as well, is absolutely crucial here. But those posts that they're just going through there are absolutely vicious if you hit them too hard. Here we have Nico, and there you saw the car got a little bit unsettled in the air. He kept the speed up, but there again, where the car's just gone very, very unsettled. He actually held it just before hitting the tree line on the left. But that is exactly what I mean. One mistake can just carry such a long way due to the amount of bumps there are on this circuit. Even out of the trees, the log piles here can really badly hurt the cars if you hit them hard. But also, the bravest will be rewarded, very much so. Lovely amount of speed being kept up there, and here a little bit of confusion. Unless you're really paying attention to the course notes, you can start heading off in the wrong direction. BBR Swift looks very, very twitchy, doesn't look as settled as we've seen in the past, but able to keep the rate of speed up. But again, the cars are straightening very, very quickly. He's not getting a lot of slides going on, so that is not going to help him, particularly in the slower sections. Although we got a lovely slide there, but again, you're seeing just how quickly the nose is snapping to straight again. So that's really going to hurt him in the long run. We have one of the smoother, so to speak, elements of the circuit where the corners are not so thick and fast. There you see that curvature, as we saw, being used to his advantage. Alex UKR with that virtual reality camera view. You can see how his view is just transfixed into the distance. Oh, and that's where you can make a mistake, and that's where it goes all horribly wrong for Alex. You saw he's actually going the wrong way. That's not going to help you. But it's so narrow, you can see it's actually gone off the circuit. It's actually gone off, trying to recover. And there he goes, he is now away. That's lost him a colossal amount of time. But that was just one tiny error. You hit the bumps wrong. Because there's so many of them, it is very, very hard to recover. Back to Nico. Listen to how quickly the instructions are coming along. There's so many things that the drivers have to take into consideration. The tracks, the visibility element because of the rain, how slippery it is because of the rain, albeit it is a more tarmac type surface. It is light gravel, so there's still an element of slipperiness there, accentuated by the rain, but the bumps as well. You do get to learn where the major dips in the tracks are. A lovely throw there to the left, and able to straighten out before the post. Oh, and there we go. That's how getting the curvature wrong can upset the car. The car nosedive slightly. He had to get out of it, but recovered very, very well. Back to Race Fanatic then, and look at the pace that he's able to keep up in the Ford. Beautiful slide there. That's what we weren't seeing from Swift. His car was just snapping straight too quickly. But Race Fanatic having a great effort here. It's always very weird hearing instructions from the helicam. This is one of the straightest sections, but even still he's gone slightly off the track. As it was, he had enough room to be able to recover that without really losing any pace. But the speed is in top gear, absolutely motoring. Back to Alex UKR then. In the more twistier section of the circuit, we saw him have that colossal bang early on. So he's trying to recover from that. This is obviously the first stage. He's quite early in the stage at this particular point. So he's constantly playing catch up with how competitive this field has been. It's near impossible to make up the amount of time that Alex lost. There, Alex trying to use the curvature of the land there on the left-hand side. He actually dug in a bit. It lost him a bit of pace. He's being very, very cautious, probably due to the damage, forcing him to be a bit more cautious through that particular section. And he's back in the way again. Oh, and he hit a bumper a bit too hard, sent the nose skywards and bounced off of the fence on the right-hand side. Back to Swift then. Heading onwards. Oops, that was again a bump, sending the nose round to the right. He controlled it very, very well. Oops, too deep. Through the tape fencing, but wouldn't have lost him a great deal of time. A little, but not really a great deal. Epileptic Toast then, the Canadian, near the end of the stage. Look how close he is to the track edge. Again, if he was another probably foot to the left, that would have been disaster, but he has timed that to perfection. He's able to control the car. Really, I mean, he's doing nearly 100 miles an hour through these sections, bear in mind. And that is the end of the stage for Epileptic Toast. Absolutely stunning car control. Back to Alex UKR. So this is coming up to halfway in the stage, as you can see by the guide at the top there. Again, he's still maintaining a bit of caution. That's a car is obviously very damaged, and again he's gone off. Oh, a very heavy hit into the tree. Oh, that again, that's a big confidence dent as well. Further damage to the car, but it does shake you. You lose your confidence to be able to push as hard as you need to stay competitive. Race Fanatic actually looks like he's lost his windscreen at some stage, although it appears to be here, and the windscreen rubbers are still going, so it's a bit of a graphics issue there. But look, just it's amazing how much pace that Race Fanatic is able to maintain. Nico as well. Oh, the nose actually dives a little bit there. He had to really control the car pretty well. Brilliantly done though. So Jason McRae getting the top time of 5:45.969. How does Nico stack up to it? It is 2.3 down. It's a very long stage actually. It's a very long time to stay that focused and that with that much intent actually going on. So on to the next stage. I apologize if I get this wrong pronunciation wise. FFERM WYNT. Short stage, so just 3 time checks in the middle of the stage, and you can see the rain is lightened, so should be a bit more traction available, although there is still a fair amount of water down on the ground, so it's not getting any more slippery, but with the exception of Alex UKR, there wasn't a great deal of crashing going on as we saw in the last video clip. So away goes Nico then on stage number 2. So the drivers start to get into the rhythm very early on. Lovely sweeping right, left, right. Left, right, left, I should really say. The bumps. And you see, got a little bit unsettled, but handled it very, very well. Seems to like having the car snapping. So, you know, as we see here, VBR Swift, the car is determined to straighten itself. Doesn't seem to want to stay in the slides very much, which there, you saw it again, the car just snaps forwards again, whereas you see Race Fanatic carrying the slide a bit more smoothly. A driver preference perhaps, but I'm not really too sure it's going to pay off. Oh my goodness me. Well held there by Swift. The car got a little bit out of shape as it landed, but he held it brilliantly well. Again, the speed at which the instructions are coming in are incredible. Our new champion then, bans for Team AOR in the Citroen. Just incredible car control, throwing the car left, right, left, and he is holding it brilliantly well. Lovely long slide for that hairpin. On board with Jarrett for Ford Motorsport, taking a little bit more cautiously. The advantage then is these bumps don't throw the car quite so hard, so he's able to control it much easier when he hits the deck. Of course, it is a slower way of doing it, so You see the amount of standing water on the inside. Not too bad as that's the unloaded tyres on the inside of the circuit there, so it wouldn't affect traction by a great degree, but it does show that the track is still pretty slippery out there. Yet they are still handling it pretty well. Here's Alex Ugayai. He's had a disastrous rally in Wales so far, but still pressing on. Can he recover any of that last time? Some serious damage we saw. Oh, and again he slid too much into that sharp left and just basically dug himself into the bank, but he's still going on. Oh, that was again close to the edge, as you have to be, and that is what it looks like from the VR perspective. Race Fanatic then just seems to be attacking everything so much harder than we've seen. It could be just simply camera angle that makes his car look that much quicker, but I suspect, again, you saw the outside shot from Bams. It just did not look as quick as what this man is attacking these corners at the moment. As he's come through that long right-hander, that's definitely going to need a wash when it gets to the back of the garage.
6 through posts, jump 60, rest, dip, right 3.
And there's what I mean, that the instructors coming one after another, after another, after another. And again, that's brilliant use of the curvature of the track then. Here's VBR Swift. From the external perspective, again, car is snapping forwards very, very quickly. Oh, and that was a big bump there, not getting the curvature of the ground quite right, throwing the car essentially the wrong way, but it's actually using how the car snaps struck forward to his advantage there and able to recover quite quickly. That's also going to need a wash when he gets home. Keeping the speed up. Oh, and that's gone out. You actually just saw him straighten up there, but that could have been disastrous. Bands pressing on them.
Jump maybe, and jump.
The championship is already his, but on he goes. Big jumps over those. Despite the fact that it's straight, if the car lands awkwardly, it can still throw you off the circuit. Oops, and there you saw he actually hit the tape fence on the outside. It was slightly too wide, but it wouldn't really lost him any time. Back to Nico. Oh, he's again just started to pitch to the outside of the track there, but he had landed fairly early. Oh my goodness, that was close to the post. So they're able to keep the car under control. When the instructions are coming this quickly, you listen to the bits you need to, and you focus on implementing what those instructions are giving you. So it's very practiced art. Here is that art at its best. Over the finish then to complete the stage. Here is Bands. Cut the corner slightly too heavy. It's pushed him slightly too far to the outside there, but again, wouldn't have lost him too much time. Oh, he got a little bit unsettled. Again, he went too deep into that left-hander. Nico with the top time so far. Can Bands beat it? That 252, he does. 1.3 seconds to the new champion's favour then. Race Fanatic. It looks fast. Let's see if the time agrees with him. Oh, very, very deep. But expertly controls it, but they would not have had such a fast exit from the right-hander with how deep he went into that particular chicane. Oh, brilliantly using the curvature there. Does he beat Bands? Does he beat his fellow Finn? He doesn't by a half a second, though. Very, very close. So then, on to the next stage. Another short one. It's the same stage in reverse. It's WYNT. Another 3-stage one. You can see the sun beginning to come out, so a little bit more grip. It's amazing that doing the corners in the reverse order, it just presents such a different challenge. Cars are going to be cleaner, so they have at least gone through the car wash. Away we go then on board with Nico. You can see that it's much more tarmac than it is gravel. It's certainly less wet, so lovely dips really heavily into that right-hand dip then. Nicely done. Jumps over the grass there. Oh dear, he's hit the bank and that's going to hit the post. Oh goodness me. Exactly as I say, one minor mistake really gets very, very costly because, again, the track is so narrow. It tends to take a 3-point turn to correct itself. Here's Race Fanatic there. Through that same section. Looks like he has no rear bumper on the car. Just incredible pace from Mr. Fanatic. Again, he had to really watch how the car was riding over the bump. He's held it pretty well. lovely fast right-hand slide.
Keep mid over crest and gate 100.
And again, the pace note's saying to stay in the middle. Bearing in mind that the track is pretty narrow, it does mean you have to have a fairly decent amount of accuracy. The wider the track, the less you have to worry about being that accurate. Oh, too deep! Too deep. That hit the bank, rose the nose up. He had to get off the gas and get back on the job. Here is Swift then. He's gone through the first timing line. He's a quarter of the way through the stage. So going over the stage part that we've just seen from the helicam. Oh, got very, very out of shape. Again, nose going down there, but kept it going, but that would be costly, as that's a pretty quick part of the track that he's gotten out of shape on. But he's back underway again. Again, you see that car snapping forwards, as opposed to staying in the slide. He's handling it pretty well. He's still keeping the pace up, to be fair. Such a narrow bit. You cannot think about how narrow the track is. You just got to use your instincts, listen to your pace notes, and get on with the job. As we saw, actually, perfect timing from Alex UK's point of view. You watch where his eyesight is going. He's looking in the distance. He's not looking at where the car is currently. The piece of track the car is currently on. He's looking further up. He's listened to the instructions. He's got a mental map of how he's going to implement these instructions, and he's already looking for the next one. Oh, big flip for Alex again. Disaster. And he's buried really into the trees. He's going the wrong way. Nope. I was just, the warning was still there. I thought that was the right one. So he's backing away again. This is definitely a rally to forget for NXTKR. Epileptic toast. Backing away again. So close to the posts. That's the fine margins between a great rally driver and a good rally driver, pushing those boundaries. Again, that's a section that can get very confusing. I actually was looking off to the right there, whereas the track actually went around to the left. So again, one minor mistake can be very, very costly. You've got to listen to the pace notes. Just get them in your memory. Same section there for Race Fanatic. This is the section that looks very confusing, but if you listen to the pace notes properly, you will obviously take the correct line. And practice, I'm sure. Crazy spectators, inches away from the track. That's rally spectators for you. Oh my goodness me, the back end getting all out of shape. But Race Fanatic just keeping his foot nailed and getting the car back under control again. Brilliantly done. He battered forward of Alex UKR, continuing on his way. Oh, again, getting very close to the outside edge, so that is pretty disastrous if he fell into that drop. Oh, again, the car straightened up too early. He actually recovered that. He went to recover that. Probably quite a wise move, because that would have thrown him into the trees. So that cost him 15 seconds. This is going from worse to disastrous for Alex UKR. Now on the straighter section, see if we can just try and push on. And he's gone too deep into here. Oh, goodness me. It's very easy to become very despondent and just make mistake on mistake on mistake. One mistake becomes 3, becomes 5, on and on and on. Oh, no. Too deep into the corner and then spins. And stalls. Oh, goodness me. But he's back underway again. You've got to hand it to him. He is determined to get to the end. Back to Epileptic Toast. He's getting to the end of the stage then. Just saw the finishing post up ahead. Ooh, that was very close to the rocks. Then he almost hit them. I would have spat him out. Oh, lovely aerial finish there. Going too close to the rocks would have spat him out then. Here's Race Fanatic covering that same section. Jason McRae with the top time, 2:53.626 rather. Does Race Fanatic beat it by 1/10 of a second? Very, very close yet again. Nico getting a little bit out of shape there, but kept it going. Again, the bravest of the drivers will still catch air, despite the fact that he's got barely any room to land again. And that's 13 seconds behind the stage winner Vance. So these are the midway stages. Vance leading the way, but by half a second over Jason McRae. Race Fanatic falling about 4 seconds behind. At that particular point, Epileptic Toast holding on to 4th. Nico 5, VBR Swift 6. The Holy Moose, we haven't seen in this high rail in 7th. Jordan McGonigal in 8th position with Lamarak 9. An Addictive Penguin rounding out your top 10. Jared and Axeman also on the time machines 11th and 12th. Despite the fact that the field is covered by 1.5 minutes, it is still highly competitive. There's your remaining drivers then. Transen, who we've seen very highly rated in earlier rallies, is down in 13th, really struggled here. Waltzint as well, and UKL we saw having disaster on disaster. Is the last of the runners. We haven't seen Tiger Kart or Edwinissimo in this particular rally. So on then to stage 4 in DYFFRYN AFON. There's another short stage, so another 3 time check. That is a mixture of, as you see the darkness beginning to fall, a mixture of high speed and very tight corners, as you can see from the map there, and also from the Swift footage on the left hand side. So whilst it is afternoon, it is clearly much darker, so that will actually have a greater effect than you think it will, particularly in the heavily wooded areas. Oh, blimey, how close was Race Fanatic to those logs on the right hand side. But on he goes then, the AOR emblazoned Ford. Lovely slide there, that 180 left. Pushing onwards. That was a very strange camera to have in a rally car. There isn't anybody back there, but never mind. Riding the bump perfectly well. Again, lovely pitch over to the left there. Got into the groove to use the curvature of the land to pull him over to the left hand side. Here's Bands. Very bumpy section coming up to the wind turbines. They'll stop your skid pretty quickly. And keeping the revs up, you see how he's able to position the nose brilliantly well, despite the fact there's very heavy bumps. Oh, goodness me! He just hit one bump. There was one bump that caused that. Quite near the apex, and that's cost him a whole mountain of time. He's back on the track, but that is disaster for Rally Wales for Bands. But straight back into the rhythm then. Let's see what he can do to limit that damage. Here's Nico, same section. Didn't quite get that 180 left right. You saw the car just nudge something and pitch back over to the right then, but he's back underway. Got to be careful how you pitch over to the right then when you're facing the line of trees, but you rode that brilliantly well. On he goes then. Yeah, stay to the right there, don't get confused with the road layout. Oh, brilliantly brake, downhill, slippery section there. He did that perfectly well. Very nice, 133, 580 on that last split. Here's Race Fanatic then, flying past the trees. You might think the straight sections are easier, and in 1 degree they are, but it's where the bumps can still catch you off guard. No, you can't really relax as a rally driver. You have got to stay absolutely 100% alert all of the time. Again, heavy bump there on the left-hand side. Pulls the car over to the right. Riding out brilliantly well. Here is the limping Alex UKR. Oh, he didn't quite get that downhill section right, but kept it going. Didn't crash. It was a little bit too deep and took the barrier with him. Still going on though. He hasn't retired from the rally despite all the problems he's had. Oh, again, you saw the flash then. He's caught the dip on the right hand side completely wrong, and that pitched him onto 2 wheels, but he's still pressing on. Determined to finish the round. And you've got to hand it to him for the determination for the German. Oh, again, he got the bumps wrong, but he held it brilliantly well to stop going off the edge of the circuit. That's expert car control there, or expert recovery, I should say. Very nicely handled. Exactly what I was saying. Once the straight sections may seem easier, the bumps can completely throw you. If you relax a little bit too much, the circuit will bite you. Swift then. The helicam doesn't really do justice to how bumpy this circuit is, but it does show just how close they get to the edge of the circuit from an external viewpoint. Again, the instructions coming thick and fast for the drivers to follow. You're going to lose him in a minute. There he is. Again, you just see how the car keeps snapping straight again. It doesn't seem to want to drift that way. Epileptic toast.
Into bump left 4.
Slow it down. And he does brilliantly well, staying in the curvature of the land to pull him around. Like he's mentioned before. He makes it look so easy. And over the line he comes in. It looks so much easier than it actually is to attack a rally course like this that fast. There's Fanatic. Kills the camera that's there. Rally fans are mental to be that close to the track.
And right
Here's
long,
World Champion.
Crest, 60. Right 6, 60.
Again, just listening to the instructions there.
And right 6.
As you keep left over crest, bearing in mind that the next corner is a right, it takes us that extra level of bravery to do that and keep the speed as high as he is. So Jason McRae with the top time at this point does bounce beat it, 2:53.576, and over the line. He was 4.6 down due to that error he made. So then on to the next stage, it is DYFFRYN AFON in reverse then. Short stage, Nico. Bumps will still bite you. In the overcast conditions, reducing the amount of light that is available, and plenty enough to see, but again, it with the density of the trees can make it even darker still. So away goes Nico.
Into left 4, into right 5 on long, into left 1
already finding where the curvature is, finding the ways to get the nose of the car into those ditches to pull the car around that a little bit quicker.
Keep left over crest.
Very, very nicely handled.
Continue for 80. And right 6.
Oh, didn't quite get that right, but handled the landing pretty well to recover. Saw what he was aiming for. He was looking to try and cut over the apex slightly, but sadly the car didn't land as expected. Swift then. Back shot on the some of these camera angles. Car not really getting airborne, so maintaining pretty good control of the car. Here's Race Fanatic then, that same section. Oh, slight bit of lag there. And lovely slide then on that long left-hander. Staying so neutral. Much easier to handle, so the setup really working well for the flying fin at the moment. Difficult to really judge how well he's doing from that back camera. Oh, a little bit deeper than he probably was aiming for on that one, but still expertly handled. Back to Nico. His post, despite the fact that they don't really make that corner any tighter, it's just the fact that they're there can just make you a little bit more away. You've got to get the apex right. Oh, a little bit too deep. Yeah, a little bit of a bump there. Wouldn't have lost too much there, but not the optimal way of taking that turn, but not too bad. So back past the wind turbines. Again, you've still got to stay focused on how the bumps are throwing the car around. Toast.
And left 6.
Oh, get that slowed down. Brilliantly done.
And left 3.
So bumpy leading into that hairpin right, and he brilliantly slowed that car down. That could have gone horribly wrong. And on he goes, and lovely stuff. Come on. Oh, he didn't quite get the car so settled as he would have liked. But he still handled that hairpin pretty well. Here's the run from you, Alex UKR. Probably can't wait to get to the checkered flag, considering the difficulties he's had. Here we go then, taking them much more cautiously than we've seen previously. Probably not entirely out of choice with the amount of damage that car has had to sustain in this rally. But also, again, the confidence would have taken quite a big knock. He's determined to bring it to the end, which he does.
And gate.
Nico then.
Into left 5 long over crest.
Lovely approach into that downhill hairpin.
Into left 5 long, don't cut, logs inside. And caution
Logs inside, you don't say there. Oh, again, so close. you've got the bravery to stay close to the to where a heavily built inside track is, you will gain the time. Oh, that was a great helicopter shot with Race Fanatic disappearing out of it. Oh dear, slightly too deep. And that's exactly what can happen. One mistake, and that's a lot of damage on Race Fanatic's car. Very, very quick to recover. But he hit the bank and that threw the car straight into the trees. But without missing a beat, Race Fanatic recovers and gets back underway. Very, very brilliantly done. The car was not quite settled to get into that right-hander. He started turning in a fraction of a second too late, but held it pretty well. Again, the car pitching to the outside. Had to get out of it slightly to avoid hitting the trees again. But still 5.8 quicker than the previous best of Jason McRae. So as we head into the final stage then, it is a bronze felon. So along the section, so 7 checks. The final stage of Wales Rally. See the footage from Banzen. It's the same kind of conditions that we've had for the last few stages. And it is our new champion leading us away on this final stage. Cameraman just not keeping up with how quickly that he gets that Citroen underway. Lovely example of car control. Again, that was essentially a full 180 degree he just did there. So he's going from one extreme to the left, turning right, then straight away get into a hairpin left. Why is the camera staring at the trees?
And right 6. And left 6,
helicopter not keeping up with him either.
Left 4 long over bump. And right
That's
6
a very weird camera angle
200.
considering where Bands is in relation to where the camera is. But there we go.
Down,
Again, you can see if you watch how the car's bouncing around, it's a lot of bumps in this stage again. Alex UKR. Away he goes then. Oh, again, too deep. Too deep. And that is bounce off the bank then. Can this man get a break here in Wales? He'll be quite happy to get the rally finished, I would imagine. Back in the way again, back into his rhythm. Oops, car getting very unsettled, he's too wide. Oh, he just managed to keep it out of the trees. It didn't really help his view darkened then, like his driver was bracing himself. The driver can't be shutting his eyes. Back to Race Fanatic. That's a major crash he had at the end of the last stage. Will not be helping his pace, but you wouldn't know it with the amount of beans he's giving that. Absolutely lovely stuff. Lovely slide then. That was an airborne launch into that left-hander. Again, this rear camera doesn't do a lot of justice to how he's driving. Oh, very well done. He actually pitched left very, very early into that. You heard he held on the handbrake and then floored it at the right moment. Here's Swift then. Very nicely done. Considering how much that car has been snapping straight, he held that slide pretty well. On he goes then. Yeah, more wind turbines. And you can't really, from this helicopter angle, you cannot see how the curvature of the ground is being used to its greatest effect. Gerard, got slightly out of kilter, but held it well. Didn't go quite right. He didn't have enough pace when he went into that handbrake turn there. So he had to recover from that, but he wouldn't have lost a great deal of time. Handled fairly well, but not quite as smooth as he would have liked. Oops, slightly onto the grass bank on the left there. Back to Epileptic Toast. Race Fanatic absolutely attacking this with everything he has got left in that car. Very nicely handled then, that hairpin right. To the left hand side, the curvature pulling around to the left.
Caution correct and down immediate open hairpin right. And gate.
And again, to the car pitching over to the left for the previous corner. He had to get that back settled before the hairpin right. Very expertly handled.
Jump maybe into left 5 long, don't cut blocks inside. And caution left 660, keep right with the crest.
Oh, again, the brave is the brave, getting very, very close to those blocks on the left hand side. Oh, God, that is so close.
80.
Brilliantly done then by the Canadian. Slows it down very nice, then gets really into the ditch on the right hand side. So pull that round to the right. Brilliant. Here we have Nico. Again. Oh, it's gone a bit deep then, but recovered it just in time. The same section we've just seen. He was a little bit wider on that right-hander than we just saw Epileptic do it, but even still, very, very nicely handled. Slightly safer way of doing it, but it is the slower way of doing it. Now that's much more like it. Really got into the ditch on the right and held that slide perfectly well then. Oh, but didn't get that landing right. Oh, God, again, very, very close to the logs. Didn't cut that quite as close as we've seen some of the drivers do it, but still getting on his way. Alex UK. Alex UK up. Oops. Nudge of the bank on the left. Fighting with the damage of the car as much as he's getting into the rhythm of the circuit. Into that. Hairpin right. And just not attacking that. Oh, and he slid into the bank on the left. Just not able to get the traction into the car. And here is a double-edged sword for rally drivers. Grip comes from how the wheels are basically gripping the road. Sounds a bit of an obvious statement, but the grip comes from how they're applying the power. If you're trying to be slower and more cautious, you're not applying the power through the wheels. So it does become a bit of a double-edged sword. You need to maintain the traction by going quicker. Up to a point, of course. Very, very, very close then for Swift. Oh, he got a little bit out of shape there. Handled it pretty well. And keeps his car going very nicely. Oh, threw that into the apex there on the right. There's Fanatic. Through the bars. Big old crack in his windscreen for after that argument with the tree. In need of a car wash again. Absolutely flying along. See, his car just riding the bumps as opposed to being thrown by them. The bigger ones will of course throw him, but brilliantly settled before that long right-hander. Absolutely brilliant. Bands. See here the car not riding the bumps as well as we've just seen by Race Fanatic. Throwing his car around a little bit more. Oops! Yeah, well held. He hit the banking on the left-hand side, just pitched the car slightly away from where he would have liked it. Held it brilliantly. Due to it being a bit slower, it would have been a little bit easier for Bands. Oh, crikey, there's a lot of ditches he's hitting there, but very, very well handled them. Alex UKR again. A bit more speed. Oh, that's close. Yeah. He took off wrong, which landed him on the... Anything that can go wrong for Alex UKR is going very heavy wrong. He took off slightly too far over to the left, which landed him on the heavy banking on the left and just pitched the car quite badly when it landed. Pressing on. Heavy left-hander. Oh, it just would not slide. He wouldn't slide then, so he tried to maintain the apex. The car then just spat him out and hit the bank on the right and really unsettled him. Really get any luck in this rally at all. Nico. Through the posts. Oh, he didn't get the slide early enough, so he hit the banking on the right turn, just pitched the nose straight back round to the right, straight back round to the right rather. So back under the speed. Oh, that slight tap of the tree there, still slightly too far over. Now back into his rhythm. Oh, it's very easy to get unsettled and held that pretty well, to be fair. He didn't lose a great deal of time as a result through those heavy ditches. Now we have epileptic toast. Car control we've seen from these guys has been phenomenal. Who's coming up to the final time check of the stage. Oh, he didn't get the slide quite right there. They held it pretty well.
And left 6 over crest, close to 5, continues 80.
The line lovely through the trees here.
Into left 5.
Oh, again, quite brave to get airborne there, considering that it was a left-hander who was approaching, but keeps his foot nailed. Back to you, Alex UKR, near the end of the stage. And he'll be quite happy to burn that car, I imagine, after what has been a pretty challenging rally for him. Back to VBR Swift. Keeping his foot nailed through this section. Oh, just one minor touch to the banking, and he's now stuck. And he's had to recover it. That's a 15-second penalty for him. He had no choice. He was completely wedged in there. Just a little bit too much speed. Caught the banking on the right and just pitched him into the line of the trees. And he's lost a tyre. That is not going to be helping him. He's limping those 3 wheels on that wagon. You can hear it scraping along the ground. Oh, goodness me. It's been a pretty eventful rally for Swift. Nico, see how he handles this section. This again, there's the rapid fire instructions from the... Oh my goodness me, too much. Oh, well held. Well held there, do a barrel roll. I bet he was smiling when the car came back to rest on its wheels again. That could have gone so disastrously wrong in so many different ways. Oh my goodness me. He had to get out of that to recover that. The car getting all out of shape. But he's held it well, and that's the end of the stage for Nico. Epileptic toast. Same section. Heading up to the line. And he is done.
Left 6, keep in.
Here is World Champion bands.
Mid over crest. Left 4, keep in.
Oh, those bumps really throwing his car around. He's got nothing left to prove now. Goodness me. This camera angle didn't really do justice to how well he held that. And Race Fanatic then. Bouncing along the same section. His car just looks to have ridden the bumps a little bit better than I would say Vance has, but Vance still keeping the pace up, and it's 0.6 in Race Fanatic's favour this time around in Rally Wales. And there is your overall classification. Vance again taking the overall rally win with 23:14.158, but just 2.5 seconds away was Race Fanatic. Some incredible car control and incredible pace over very, very challenging conditions, as we saw from these guys. Epileptic Toast did lose about 11 seconds on the leaders. On Race Fanatic there. So he comes home in third with Nico 4. Jason McRae 5. We saw him topping some of the time cheats early on. Only moves 6, so a pretty consistent run for him. Swift in 7. Addicted Penguin in 8. Lamorak 9. Jarrett 10. And here's the bottom end of the table. Alex did indeed manage to get some time over Axelman and Waltzin. But, yeah, I'd imagine he's pretty happy to be finally rid of Rally Wales. And that rounds out the WC class for Rally Wales. And, of course, this season, driver standings then, bands topping the points chart with 128. Race Fanatic 2, Epileptic Toast 3 by just a point between them. Race Fanatic just taking that second position at the death of the season. Jason McRae 4, Nico 5, Addicted Penguin with 6, VBR with 7, Jared 8, Lamorak 7-9 in 9th, with the Trams in 10th position, Waltzing 11, Starving in 12th position then. So it just goes to show how competitive this season has been with this many drivers involved, and the level of driving we have seen. Here's the second half of the table. Holy Moose there in 13, Alex UKR 14th, Yasa in 15th position, Bigu 16th position, 17th Jordan McGonigal, 18 RC Flume, 19 was VBR Dast, 20th Tiger Kart, Arbos 00, 21st Axelman 22nd, Malak in 23rd, and Cabissimo at the bottom of the table there. So Ford taking the Constructor Championship. Again, not by a massive amount over Team AOR. 270 to 189. VBI Esport, again, not far behind in that third position. But Team Lamppost 4, Grey Rally 5, and Jap Motorsports rounding out the Constructors table. Here's the Pro category. You can see Vin Kiwi taking the top spot in the Pro. Cody Moose, RC Flume 3, BB4. CC Vioma, fifth position, Piazza 6, Das 7, Flex 8. Can't pronounce this quite properly. Yana Gibashi 9, and Stimpy rounding out the top 10 in this category. Season 3 has now drawn to a close. We look forward to seeing these drivers back for Season 4. There's the overall driver standings. CC Vioma taking the top spot. Then PB2, Martin 3, Piazza 4, Alinius 5. So quite a big spread of points this time around at the top, but as you get from 4th through to 8th, very, very tight there. 338 down to 308. Cody Moose, Gigo, Starving, and Gast. Stimpy 9, I'm struggling again, Yana Gibashi rounding out the top 10. Crash of the week. We saw quite a few already incidents, but this one from Nico. Oh dear. That's going to be, that was an epic recovery. That's a lovely barrel roll he managed to do. Of course, couldn't have a crash of the week in this stage without mentioning Alex UKR. Every disaster they could have possibly befallen him. There we go, that really disastrous hit he had. Buried him in the line of the trees. And away he went. After a strong start to the season, followed by a mid-season slump, what are your thoughts on recovering to second place overall?
I'm obviously happy about it, satisfied. I rather take second than any lower than that, and it's nice to improve from last season. But overall, a second is, yeah, I mean, I'm up at least with the fastest guys, which I'm happy with. But it's then that the first place would be even better. But I knew that after the first rounds that the bunch was really quick, and I put in a good effort on the first 2 rounds to practice. But after that it was really just too much for me to practice enough to stay on the top places. So I kind of decided to not really go for it, but still obviously try my best. But yeah, kind of understanding that first place wasn't really realistic, but therefore I'm also very happy about getting the second place in the end.
Today you not only celebrate P2 in the Drivers' Championship, but the Constructors' victory as the manager for Motorsport. Just how difficult was it to overcome bans and Team AOR?
Yeah, it was obviously to win is always difficult, and as a team manager, it's really up to you to always make the best decisions. And yeah, I picked a great team at the start of the season, and then also picked the correct wildcards, and they all did a very good job. And yeah, that's kind of, it was kind of everything perfect, and that's really why we won. So I'm very happy about that.
Do you think he can go one better and win the title in Season 4?
In short, I think it will be very difficult because we are many drivers who are able to challenge for first. And with the new My Stage, where you can't really practice the stages, it will be a different kind of championship, where you need to be good at listening to your co-driver and be consistent throughout a rally. So yeah, I think we really just need to wait and see who are going to look the best at the beginning of next season. But yeah, I will always try my best, and hopefully I can at least be in the top 5, but either way I know I'm at least going to enjoy it all a lot.
Well, that concludes the season then. It has been a great pleasure to stand in as a commentator for these highlight reels. My name has been King-Kodiak, and we will see you back here for more AOR action. But from us here, the DiRT Rally, it's goodbye, and we'll see you for season 4.